Myanmar was closed off from the global economy only a matter of years ago, yet today the country is starting to be seen as Asia's last frontier. With me to discuss is Zaw Lin Aung, Deputy Managing Director of KBZ Bank. Well, Zaw Lin Aung, if I might start with Myanmar, this has opened dramatically over the past few years. So what sort of changes have you witnessed?
A new chapter in Myanmar history started in November 2010. Since then, many developments have taken place on political governance, economic reform, aiming at increasing openness, empowerment, and inclusions after the decades of authoritarianism, and the foundations of open market economies are being laid after the years of isolation.
And what would you say have been the major milestones in Myanmar's banking sector over the last few years?
The authority has started to revise the legal framework, the various requirements for the financial sector in order to modernize the infrastructure, the institutional framework, to liberalize the foreign exchange market, and relax some administrative control. The Central Bank of Myanmar, the major development was the awarding of the authorized dealer license and money changer license to the private commercial bank. The Central Bank of Myanmar implemented of the banking network, the authorized automatic clearing system house, and established the Myanmar payment unions for the first national payment gateway. 9 foreign banks were awarded the branch license for their corporate customer.
And the rate of growth in the banking sector, what's that dependent on?
The rate of growth in the banking sector is particularly depends on the sound continuations of the regulatory reforms, the developments of the human resources, especially the gainings of the public trust. The rate of growth in the banking sector is timed to the economic growth of the country. The rate at which the Myanmar economy grew is particularly depends how attractive Myanmar is perceived, for the foreign investment. I can recommend, business investments in key 4 areas, especially in infrastructure, manufacturing, communications, and education. So investments in Myanmar has risen from 200 million in 1989 when the country first opened to approximately 8.5 billion in the year 2014-15.
And the challenges?
The Myanmar banking sector is facing challenges, particularly in the pace and natures of the regulatory reform process in developing the human resources and re-establishing the public trust. These challenges are even more important while taking consideration 9 foreign banks have already entered the Myanmar, as well as Myanmar is going to join the single market of the ASEAN Economic Community by the end of 2015. So as Myanmar banking sector grow in terms of size and complexities, so will the demands on the human resources for the bank. It's about 15,000 new staff joining to the banking industry every year, but there's about only 300 graduates who can be trained in the sector. So the demand and scales are always changing, and there is currently no specialized training offer in the industry.
So overall, how has Myanmar's economy fared over the past financial year?
Myanmar economy grew at 8.5% in real terms 2014-15, but the growth is projected to moderate the 6.5% in 2015-16 due to the flag and slowing investments. The rapidly increasing demands for the investment-related input has widened our current account deficits. This, together with the general strengthening of the US dollar, has put a pressure on Myanmar exchange rate. So rapid growth in credit to the private sector has fueled the monetary expansion. Inflation is estimated to reach over the 10% in the year up to July. All fiscal policies and expanded credits are contributing to the growth of the economies. Although fiscal policy and monetary policy is likely needed to be tightened in the forecast periods to deepen inflationary pressure and to stabilize the exchange rate system.
And finally, looking towards the future now, and do you see this growth continuing and why?
Yes, of course, the growth will continue in the future. The trend for the past 5 years, since political and economic reform occurs in 2010, our country has been consistently experiencing the growth rate of around 8%. Now that our countries have concluded our general elections just in November 2015, with the Daw San Suu Kyi party, the major opposition party, has won the landslide victories, the gaining some super majorities and will be forming the new governments. That's why, the growth rates to increase even more. This political development is pretty much welcomed by the Western and international investor. So I expect, Western multinational corporations who have thus far maintained the wait-and-see situations to finally enter the Myanmar. Likewise, the many companies from our regions have been entering in the last few years.